And staying with the media space, the prospect of the sale of NBC Universal to Comcast is bumping up against a deadline. Tomorrow is the day for Vivendi to start deciding what to do with its stake of NBC Universal. Joining us now to give us a status check is media analyst Benjamin Stretch of Macquarie Capital. Ben, good morning. Thank you so much. The Vivendi board starts meeting tomorrow. Do you think it's likely they'll sell their 20% stake? I
think it's more than likely that the stake in NBC Universal that Vivendi hold, 20%, will come to market this time around. So Vivendi hold this option and have held this option since they acquired the 20% stake to offload it every year in a specific window. That window opens November 15 and closes the Friday of the first full week in December. So they have this window, this option every year to offload. This year, I think it's going to come to market.
Why this time around?
Well, Vivendi's situation is not totally dissimilar from a lot of the media companies around the world. There are various balance sheet issues. NBC is a far-flung asset. And they only own a minority interest relative to some of the other things that they're interested in around the world. And so for them right now, it's relatively non-core.
Benjamin, so this deal gets done closer to November 15th on the other side of this window because the details of the talks have been just slipping out all over Wall Street.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of details have been all over the papers, all over the press. There's been some refinement of some of the terms that seem on almost a daily basis. So I think the negotiations are certainly ongoing, and I think that Vivendi is assessing its options quite broadly. What I would say is though that this deal probably really hinges on just getting the right valuation for Comcast assets.
By the way, our reporting indicates that Jeff Zucker is maybe the person chosen to head this new business. That's where Comcast management is leaning. Give us a scouting report, so to speak. What are his strengths and weaknesses?
I would be amazed if they didn't go with Zucker. I mean, to undergo such a massive transformation, bringing in Comcast programming assets into this joint venture, and then bringing in NBC Universal's assets, putting them together, it's actually a major restructuring. You need someone who understands the network TV business. You need someone who understands the cable TV business. He's the guy for that. So I'd be amazed if they went with anyone else.
Now, the market has reacted negatively to the news that Comcast is interested in NBC Universal, down almost 10% since the talks were first reported. Yep. Why is that? So
the problem that Comcast has is it has a shareholder base who is really looking for access to the free cash flow of the cable business. The cable TV business is a really high free cash flow business, and that free cash flow, those free cash flow properties have been improving over the last few years, particularly in the last 18 to 24 months through this recession. The cable TV business, while customer activity is down, cash flow has held up. And so investors have held these stocks on the promise that they would actually continue to that they could actually get access to that free cash flow in the near term. What this deal represents, unfortunately, is actually the prospect that actually they won't get access to that free cash flow. And unfortunately, also for Comcast shareholders, there's going to be this perennial and perpetual idea that perhaps at one point or another, Comcast may opt to go for the full thing and may actually take 100% of NBC Universal.
Even less cash flow there, then.
Correct.
All right, thank you so much. We've been speaking with Benjamin Stretch, a media analyst at Macquarie Capital.